Live from the Blissful Meadows Golf Club in Uxbridge, Massachusetts, it's the THC Open. This private golf event is a joint venture with the Cannabis Creative Group. The Blissful Meadows Golf Club is on land that was actually purchased by a local family from the King of England in 1726. That's when Uxbridge was a section of another town, Sherborne, Massachusetts. Now it plays host to PCM TV's live stream with Eric Williamson in Phoenix, Arizona. And now, here's PCM TV founder, me! Go! Here we go! We're live at the Blissful Meadows Golf Tournament. It's called the THC Open. I'm PCM founder Jimmy Young. So happy you're with us here live. More importantly, Eric Williamson is with me in Phoenix, Arizona. And I would not be here live if it was not for Eric. So you can make sure you can blame him. Eric, thank you so much for hanging out and putting us on the air. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. The power of technology, the power of connection, using the internet. It's great.
Yeah, it absolutely is when it all works. That's all I can
It's
say.
so true when it all works.
I mean, when it doesn't
we're
work,
we're letting people like kind of ring in, let the algorithm kind of suck some people in. So
okay.
Those of you that came early, great, awesome. You did a great job. We see the room is starting to fill up. This is really, really great. And you know what? It wouldn't be complete without acknowledging what's going on for you today, right?
Oh, okay, Eric, go ahead. You can let the whole world know what it is. Yeah, there it is. Yep, indeed. And if anybody's keeping score at home, it's my 67th year, okay, on Earth. And I have kind of a funny story that I tell on my birthday. When my older brother, found out that he had a little brother, and of course, he went to school that day. It was the first day of school down in West Orange, New Jersey. That's where I was born. It was in Newark, New Jersey at the Beth Israel Hospital. And he went to school and he says, "Hey, I've got a little brother now. I've got a little brother." And everybody kept asking him, "How old is he? How old is he?" He goes, "Well, he was just born. So he's not old. He's just born."
Born.
He's just born. And it's funny.
Wait. Don't tell all. Okay. Don't give it all away.
I'm not going to get trust. You think I'm going to give away all my stories? Never in a million years. I have too many stories. And you've got the mute button ready to go, because I know there are plenty of people out there who may want to mute me at some point. And we're getting special chat messages from people, which I love, because I love that immediate engagement.
Right.
All right. There's Dab Cowgirl. Dab Cowgirl is here. Dab Cowgirl, come on over here. Okay. You're an influencer, aren't you? Have a seat. Are you an influencer? Come on, we're live on the internet. Wait, I'm gonna show everybody. There she is. Hi. That's Dab Cowgirl. You're at a lot of these golf tournaments, aren't you?
I try to go to as many of them as I can. I think it's a great way to be outside and talk with other people, like in the sunshine, smoking weed, and they'll give you a little golf cart to drive around with. Like, what could go wrong?
What can go wrong? Well, a lot of things. You can drive that golf cart into a lake. That would be one thing that would go wrong.
Hasn't happened to me yet, and I'm always like hanging on the back of the golf carts, just like that way I can get a little bit more networking in if you have people.
I'm going to guess that people are wondering, why do you dress the way you do when you go out to these public events? I think I know the answer, but tell us why.
I think it kind of breaks the ice a little bit. It lets it, it's a lot easier to approach me when I'm dressed like this. I kind of already have nice sunflower thing. What's going on with that? That's a really easy way to start a conversation with me, even if you don't know me. It's also if you forget my name across the room, you're going to be like, "Sunflower person, come on over here." It just makes it a lot easier for people to kind of find some common ground with me and loosen up. It's also just authentically something I've always loved to do is dress up a little bit more of the fun side. So I really love that cannabis has kind of allowed me to do that without having anybody lose any professional respect for me. If anything, they sort of gain it.
Now, if I was wearing that, I'd lose a lot of professional respect, just for the record.
I don't think so. I think that genuinely, if you just started dressing like this, people would be okay with it. I think that's the cool thing about the cannabis industry is people are just they're okay, you dress a little fun. That's cool. What else do you do?
Actually, what you're bringing up is a great thought. And Eric, I'm going to bring you in on this conversation too. as we listen to one of my favorite songs in the background, George Benson. So, having cannabis as a common denominator when you're at one of these things, it's the socialization aspect of the plant, right?
I think that cannabis has also been known to be a very social drug, you know, like it's just genuinely, I feel like the first time I did cannabis was in a group of friends, like, you know, and I think for many people, that's what cannabis has always been about. It's been about getting together and kind of like sharing and creating community. And there are so many more aspects to cannabis than that. Of course, like there's like the medicinal aspect, there's like everything it can do, but like I think as like it's a community building plant, like there's something to be said about like a smoke circle, you know.
You don't have to tell me. I was in the back rooms and alleyways. Eric, you remember the old days when it was completely illegal and you would follow the nose, you'd follow the smell, right?
Oh yeah, just in case. Your nose
right.
doesn't lie; it knows. You
Right.
See the pun. Your nose knows. Right.
I get you. And I had a I love the smell of cannabis because I can smell it pretty much wherever I go sometimes. And now especially, but he's in Arizona and now I got to ask you, you weren't exclusive to the Flower Expo, are you?
So what do you mean?
Well, what is your relationship with the Bellows and the Flower Expo? Because I do love that show.
Oh, well, like I work with the Flower Expo regularly. So I work with them all year. Like I tour dispensaries and I make social media content for them, but I don't work with them exclusively. So like I also do work with Paper Crane, which is a local farm out in Massachusetts. It's about 30 minutes outside of Worcester. They do sun-grown craft cannabis. Really great legacy to legal stuff. And like I also do work with a couple of other companies, but I mainly work with Flower Expo and Paper Crane.
Did you go to Michigan?
I did. Michigan was fantastic. It was lovely. It was great. It was about the same size that the Flower Expo in Massachusetts was its first year, and the Flower Expo in Massachusetts doubled its second year in size. So I'm hoping that goes well for Michigan and we double in size in Michigan next year as well, because I think this year went really great. At least it did from my end.
Well, we had one of our correspondents, Lisa Williams, was on one of the breakout sessions. Did you meet Lisa?
I met so many people.
Just say yes.
I'll say yes. I was at check-in, so I met almost everyone.
You were checking at the Flower Expo too.
Yeah. It's great to like greet. I love to be like the first impression. You know, I really think it sets the tone for your experience at an event, the way that people treat you when you first walk up. So I personally love to be like, you know, like the smiling face that you first see and like, hello, good morning. Like it's better than just somebody who's asking you like what your name is so they can get you checked in. Like I'm actually genuinely excited to see you there. Like,
well, I was excited to see you because if I remember correctly, I did send you an email about a month ago offering you the opportunity.
I just looked for that, but I didn't see it. I'm going to be honest. I didn't see that.
I think it probably went into spam. I bet it went into spam.
It probably did. So like, I should give you my phone number because I'm also admittedly not an email person. I'm more of like a phone call or like text kind of person.
I'm not surprised. And by the way, I already have your phone number.
Oh, you do? Then you should have.
I'm an email guy. Well, because I'm an email guy first, and then I'll call you and text you, whatever. Bottom line is, Eric, don't you think she'd be a great Massachusetts correspondent on the new Cannabis Coast to Coast News?
Yes.
Right. Okay, good. I'm glad that you said yes because I was going to agree. But yeah, seriously, just tell me.
Doing it. You're already following the weed scene in Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, I have been for like years now. It's really interesting to me. I think that like one thing about me that kind of drives my friends that aren't in the industry crazy is that like once I got into the weed industry, I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is like all I want to do. Like, I just want to learn everything about this. And the best thing about weed is that like there's always like 10 new, you wake up every morning and there are like 100 new things you can learn. Especially because with like prohibition and stuff, like we just haven't been allowed to study stuff. So the more and more that laws open up, the more and more scientists are allowed to study, the more we can learn. And it's all like just coming out at such a rapid rate. It's so exciting. Like, how can you not want to just like follow it as closely as you can?
So speaking of following, how do people follow you on Instagram, right?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. It's Dab Cowgirl, all one word. If you guys are watching, I've got it right up there, Dab Cowgirl. You can just put the @ in front of that in Instagram and you'll find me there. You can also go to dabcowgirl.com. I do have merch on there if you want to support. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, wish me a happy birthday.
It's my birthday too, not today.
No way.
But mine was on August 24th. Yeah. So when I first saw the happy birthdays going up in the chat, I was like, "Are those for me?"
No, they're for me. By the way, you're not 67. That's for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I am 29. Yeah.
Very much. And more importantly, I so appreciate. Hey, I've gotten to know you through the Flower Expo, and I love those guys. And I really hope in the future we all get to work together. And more importantly, I'm going to text you so we can talk about this opportunity for you. Okay?
Yeah, please text me. I love talking into microphones. That's one of my favorite hobbies.
She's a natural, Eric. She's a natural. And now, of course, we have excerpts from my other career. You know, I used to be a sportscaster on TV. Did you know?
I could believe that. I think you've told me that before.
There you go. I tell everybody, but most people don't remember me unless you're over 50, and we know you're not. But we do have some.
We're going to do the intro first. Oh, we're going
to start at the top again. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what we put together. This is live, and don't go away. We've got a lot of fun things, and we're going to talk to a lot of fun people. We'll be back.
I'm Joe Parsons from the Virginia Cannabis Connection and Pro Cannabis Media's Weed Talk News. I'd like to take a little time out to give a special birthday love shout out to Pro Cannabis Media founder and Emmy Award-winning journalist Jimmy Young. You know, Jimmy, when I moved here from Maine a couple years ago, I didn't think that I'd ever be able to get back into the cannabis industry, especially with the way it is in the South. But, you know, I watched you on Pro Cannabis Media's Weed Talk News, and I was like, you know, this is someone that I could definitely hang out with. I wish that I could get involved, and I reached out to you, and you took a chance on me. So I just wanted to say thank you, man. You've been a true inspiration in my life, and I want to wish you, again, a very happy and safe 35th birthday, and I plan on being with you all the way until we end federal prohibition in America. And as always, my friend, stay lifted.
Woohoo! Look at that! My first fish! Wow. Two fine examples of bluefish caught right here in Casco Bay. And hey, if I could catch them, anybody can catch them.
That's right. You know, come to think of it, I'm not quite sure my wife went out and picked up a bird for Thanksgiving. You know, I wonder where I could find a bird for Thanksgiving. Maybe right here. No.
Game, because I've never made putts like I did today.
Oh,
yes! Did we get that? Oh, I love it!
Okay, 5-4, 3-2. Remember, let's go with the hands first. One mayday. Nice job. Look at that. All right.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about your before and after shots. Was that a mosquito in front of you? What was that?
I'm really glad I wasn't prepared.
Thank you, Jim.
Eric, you can hear me in this microphone, right? And the whole world can too. Because the last time I interviewed this guy, I had a great interview with him for about 12 minutes, and I forgot to push the button. So there was no audio. Michael DeNault from World Insurance, thank you so much for rejoining me.
Thanks, Jimmy, for having me again.
No, I appreciate it. And, you know, you did such a good job. Don't ask me what I asked you back then, but I'm going to ask you about this event, the THC Open and World Insurance. Tell me how you guys got involved and why you got involved.
So we were actually involved in the 2022 THC Open, the first THC Open, and we got involved because we actually insured the event. So we do event insurance for cannabis-related events when there's consumption involved and other types of various liabilities. And, you know, we've been fortunate enough to work with Ann and Seth the last 3 years. And as you know, I started flying a new flag about a year and a half ago for World Insurance. And I've been a very big supporter of the cannabis industry, as you know, for the last 6 or so years professionally. And World Insurance being one of the larger insurance brokers in the country, I've had a very unique opportunity to educate the leadership on the cannabis industry, get them involved more, and just start to normalize insurance for cannabis. So it's been a very, very crazy awesome experience over the last 6 years, and especially the last year and a half. So that's what's taken us here.
I got to ask you, when you go out and you talk to underwriters about cannabis events, are you seeing a softening of acceptance? Are we getting towards more normalization?
We're getting there. We're definitely getting there, especially if you look at the start of the Massachusetts industry in general in 2018 until now. Something like this, I mean, yeah, there were events that were around, but actual insurance products to cover cannabis consumption, I mean, you think of it similar to like a liquor liability, right? You know, you go into a bar, you go to a restaurant, you have a couple of drinks, and, you know, there's liability for that. But nobody ever thought that cannabis consumption liability would be something talked about in the early 2020s, never mind, you know, or before that in the teens. So, you know, here we are years later. There's all this data now, and this is coming from a national and international basis from Lloyd's of London and other various insurance carriers, not the brokers, but the carriers. The data now suggests that we can provide these products, and the more events that happen and the more we are creative with our solutions, more products will come out, prices will come down, and normalization is just going to be that fast track that we see.
And I preach normalization because legalization involves lawyers and politicians, two of my least favorite people when you get right down to it, but they're necessary, right? And eventually I think we'll get there, but it's still difficult. What's the biggest challenge you have trying to explain to people why liability insurance is so important?
Well, if you think about it, here in Massachusetts, there's two pieces of liability that are required for a license. General liability, so your slip and fall, you know, where you have a retail, and then product liability on the products that you're actually selling. If somebody gets sick or injured from your products, you want to make sure you're covered to either defend yourself or pay out, you know, your due claims, you know. So Massachusetts has kind of set a good standard, as well as a couple other states, in saying this is required for your license, but nobody's doing the why. So that's a big part of our operation is education. You know, why do you need these things? Yeah, the state says you need them, but why? What is it about it?
I've been asking the state that a lot lately. Why do you really need this stuff, right? Why do you really need? And I do not put a age gate on my content because I actually want young people to learn about this industry, and we're teaching by sharing news stories. And I still have to deal with it. You know that.
I do. And, you know, this is a question I ask every state that we work in. You know, what are your insurance requirements, if any, and why do you have them? And as you can probably imagine, the resounding response is silence. So
because they don't know.
Nobody knows. I mean, I won't name the state, but when I
name it. No one's watching.
Nobody's watching, right? One particular state, when I asked who did you consult to make your insurance regulations, they said, "Oh, we actually didn't."
Okay, tell me the capital of that state. Do you know the capital of that state? I tried to trick him.
I'm in the liability space, Jimmy. Come on, I know better.
Good. He knows how to handle media too. I appreciate that. Michael DeNault from World Insurance. First of all, thank you. I know we got audio that time because Eric was involved with that, and that's what I was missing at NECN, yes. Right? And of course, NECN, I think this weekend is in Atlantic City, New Jersey, right?
It is. Yep. And World Insurance will be there. We have a nice big 10 by 20 booth. We'll be right over by the Fernway booth. We plan on actually sponsoring an event on Saturday evening, right at the convention center. And yeah, our headquarters is actually in New Jersey. So this is actually a home game for us. So,
and I don't know if you heard the beginning of the show, but I did reminisce about my actual birthday, Beth Israel Hospital, Newark, New Jersey. And you want to know a weird trivia thing?
Please.
Y'all know Joe Rogan, right? You know Joe Rogan, right?
I do.
Yeah, everybody knows Joe Rogan. But what you didn't know is he and I were both born in the same hospital, and we went to the same high school at Newton South, 10 years apart. Isn't that weird?
It is, and you're both in media.
You think so?
Go figure.
Go figure that, right? It's in the water, right?
It must be.
All right. And go take care of some consumption, will you please? Because I'm not consuming until after this live stream is over.
Sounds great. Well, good luck with the rest of the stream, Jimmy. Thanks for having me on.
All right. That's Michael DeNault from World Insurance. Hey, Eric, what'd you think? By the way, did you like Dab Cowgirl? Do you think she'd be a good correspondent for us?
Yes, I do. For sure.
All right. And what's the next? I don't know what the next video is, but I'm going to guess. I love the nice little things that that
Yeah,
Joe
let me-
Parsons
Yeah,
said about any. Go ahead.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
You're first. Go ahead.
All
It's
right,
your
I was going to
birthday.
say if I could actually hear what all the staffers from the news show are going to say, I'll be a puddle. So I'm not, I'll be so moved, and
Puddle.
just because this is so much fun for me. I don't think I've had this much fun on my birthday since I turned either 60 or 50. Those are two of the best days of my life. A, because I made it that far, and B, where I happened to be those 2 days. But anyway. Look at all the comments we're getting. Oh my goodness gracious, this is great.
Oh yeah,
this is great, Eric.
It's awesome.
So what do you have? What video is next? Do you have for me? You're gonna make?
Yeah,
Are we gonna? We're not gonna cover till 4:20.
You sit back and relax. You sit back and we'll let some other people say a couple things about you.
All right, man. Thank you so much. I'm here.
Happy birthday, Jimmy.
Uh-oh, look
I hope
who it
you
is.
have the best day ever. It's gonna be great. And if it's not great, just smoke a little joint and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great either way. You're gonna have the best day. Happy birthday.
I got one more for you.
Hey, Jimmy, it's Karen. I'm getting ready to have breakfast. I was just calling. Yeah, I was just calling.
A few minutes later. A few inches later. 12 seconds later. 3 days later. 3 weeks later. Many months later. 6.5 hours later.
Alright, well, I was just calling to wait.
One eternity later. 2,000 years later. 3:28 a.m.
Alright, well, I was just calling to wish you a happy. Yep, I do. Yeah, I can do that. All right, well, I just wanted to wish you a happy. Okay.
Tomorrow. Day 2. Day 3. Day 4.
All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Happy birthday, Jimmy. Bye.
So what I think I'm hearing here is that I'm long-winded, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody who knows me personally or even professionally. For that point, Eric, where did you go? I gotta put my headphones on because they told me they were gonna turn the speaker away, but they didn't say they'd stop talking. So I'm gonna put the headphones on so I can actually hear. I will admit, I love hearing the steel drum in the background. It's very festive, right? Like we're on the islands.
It is.
Okay,
working on the islands.
Now that was really funny. Okay, now I want to explain something to people. When my dad was alive, I used to get on the phone with him and I would talk for 2-3 minutes without taking a breath. And I was told that's called verbal diarrhea. And I guess that you can't take a pill for verbal diarrhea. You just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, or anyway. Hi, happy birthday, Jimmy from Vegas. Miss our NECN sports days.
Chris Wynn.
Oh my goodness, Grace. Oh my God. Wait, Chris West or Chris Wynn?
Wynn.
Wynn. Okay, cool. Oh my God, that's funny. Those are the old days, though. Those are really old days. And we have some clips from, in fact, I know there's a clip, Eric.
I got to dig in the racks for it. Just let me try to find it. Let me
try
try
to
to find
explain
it.
what's on it, though, because the year was 1981. And it was my first ever news story about an athlete in Maine. And I know that it's there somewhere because I sent it to you over the last 48 hours. And I get a kick out of it when I look at that and I say, man, I had a lot of hair. I was a lot thinner, and I wore the worst jackets and ties you possibly can imagine. And I thought it was cool to have something that was not traditional, if you will. So
I'm going to go try to look in the crates for you. Okay. I'll be back.
You look at that. All right. And I'm not, should I keep talking or?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I should just keep talking.
Historically, the Lewiston area has produced some of the state of Maine's finest boxers. Paul Jr. and Lefty LaChance are two that made it to the world-class level. Well, now you can add the name of 16-year-old Joey Gamache.
Ready to take your craft to the next level? Imagine faster extractions, purer products, and more profits. Sounds good, right? At Pure 5 Extraction, we've revolutionized cannabis extraction with our game-changing technology. No solvents, no heat, just the cleanest, most natural process on the market. Whether you're a boutique grower or a large-scale operation, Pure 5 has the tools to elevate your business worldwide. Visit pure5extraction.com today. Pure 5 Extraction, because your plants deserve the best.